Hey folks, welcome you all to a new video. This is CA Ganesh Bharadwaj. So now in this video, we are going to see the exam paper pattern for CA Inter May 2024 exams with respect to paper 6A financial management. So as you guys know, so there are 6 papers the intermediate level, and the last paper, which is paper 6, is bifurcated into two parts. So part A is your financial management carrying a weightage of 50 marks, and part B is your strategic management again carrying a weightage of 50 marks, right? So in this video I am going to discuss about the exam paper pattern of this part A of this paper 6, which is financial management component alone, right? Now guys, this financial management part is being tested for 50 marks, so you need to write for 50 marks. However, the exam paper gets printed for 62 marks. I'm just talking about the financial management component, right? I will tell you how this 62 mark is being arrived at and all of that. Now, by the way, before I start, let me tell you that since May 2024 being the first time ever, right, the institute has come up with a lot of changes with respect to the exam paper pattern and all of that. So this is the first attempt that is going to happen as per the new syllabus. Hence, so the exam paper pattern that I am discussing right now is purely based on the two mock test papers that have been issued by the institute. Clear with this, guys? Now, this the part A, the financial management component itself, is bifurcated into 2 marks. Part 1 is called as case study based MCQs and part 2 is called as descriptive questions. Now this part 1, the case study based MCQs, are being tested for 15 marks, while the part 2, the descriptive component, the descriptive question, needs to be written for 35 marks. Clear with this, guys, right? So now first let us get into this part 1, the case study based MCQs, right? How exactly your paper is going to look like. Now in this case study based MCQs, right, which carries a component of 15 marks, first you need to know that there is no component of choice, which means this part 1 of paper 6A, the financial management part itself, right, gets printed only for 15 marks. You only have 15 marks worth of MCQs and you need to attempt all the 15 mark worth of MCQs. Clear with this, guys? So now here if you see, there is question number 1. There is question number 1, right, which carries a weightage of 10 marks, right? And question number 2, 3 and 4 are 2 marks, 2 marks and 1 mark each. Now, sir, what is this breakup? Question number 1 is called as a comprehensive case study question. Now, let me just show you how it looks like, right? So basically, I've just taken this from the latest, the institute mock test paper pertaining to May 2024 exams. So if you see here, if you notice, you've got this part 1 case study based MCQs. In that there is question number 1, wherein they will give you a particular case study, right, of a particular company. In this case, it was NV Industries Limited. They have given so many data, and based on this particular case study, right, they are asking us 5 questions. So they are asking us 5 questions based on a single data. So first they have given one comprehensive case study, right? From that they have derived 5 different MCQs and they are testing it. Clear with this, guys, right? So now that is why I call this as comprehensive case study based question. So question 1 alone is comprehensive case study based question, wherein you will be having a comprehensive case study out of which 5 MCQs are being framed. Are you clear with this, guys, right? And each of these MCQs are carrying a weightage of 2 marks. So which means 5 MCQs if you attempt, it carries a weightage of 10 marks. Clear with this, guys? Now, question 2, question 3 and question 4 are single case study based. What do you mean by single case study based, right? There is one case study given, out of which there is only one MCQ being asked. So it is not like question number 1 where out of a single data, right, 5 different MCQs are being framed. Nothing of that sort. Question 2, 3 and 4 are basically your single or standalone case study based. These are also case study based only, but they are not comprehensive case studies. They are like single case studies. This word comprehensive and single and all, I am using it for the sake of understanding. Clear with this, guys, right? If you look at this, question number 2 is there. They have given one data, out of which they have asked one question. That's all. It carries 2 marks. Similarly, question number 3, they have just given one small case study here. From that, they have asked only one question. Clear with this, guys? And question number 4, they have again asked one question, right? A direct question. Predominantly, this is not a case study. This is a direct question, right? And here they have tested it for 1 mark, because every paper should carry a weightage of 30 marks pertaining to MCQ. FM is for 50 marks and SM is for 50 marks. So 30% of 50 marks carries 15 marks. So that's the reason why the last question alone as a filler, they are testing it for a 1 mark MCQ. Clear with this, guys? So this is how your part 1 of your part A, which is your financial management, would look like. Question number 1 in your case study based MCQ, it's going to be a comprehensive case study based MCQ carrying 5 questions, each carrying 2 marks, right? Question 2, question 3 and question 4 are standalone MCQs with 2 marks, 2 marks and 1 mark. So that makes it 15 marks here. Clear with this, guys? Now, one interesting observation is that, right? So now what you have is, except for this question number 4, all other case study, all other MCQs each carry 2 marks. Now, guys, this is both a positive thing as well as it could turn out to be negative. Let me tell you why. Now, positive because it saves a lot of time, right? The number of MCQs have been reduced, but the weightage is going to be more. Now, the flip side to this, the not so good side to this is, if you get a question wrong, you don't lose 1 mark, you lose 2 marks. Clear? This is like the leverage effect that we've seen in our classes. It's a double-edged sword. If you get it right, you get 2 marks for the same effort. But if you don't get it right, you're losing out on 2 marks. Clear with this, guys? So you need to be, well prepared for this. And how do you do this? Very simple. It's all conceptual learning. That's about it. So take some time out while you're reading the question. You read it properly, frame the approach, and then whatever questions they are asking, you just attempt it. Don't be in a hurry, because right now every question carries 2 marks, right? Clear with this? So you need to be, reading the question well, framing the approach, and then quickly you can just answer. Here obviously there is no step marks and all, no explanation need to be given, nothing of that sort. You just need to mention the right answer and leave it there. So 2 marks, don't think that it comes along with explanation. No explanation. You just need to write the correct answer, option A, B, C or D, whatever it is that needs to be written. That's about it, right? No kind of explanation. Still they are giving it for 2 marks, right? So if you are conceptually clear with the subject, it is going to be a cakewalk for you. And this 15 mark component, you can finish it off in no time. Clear with this, guys, right? It's a time saver. So now Institute has clearly shifted from, right, framing lengthy question papers. Now that gone are those days. Right now it's more to do with analytical level of answering. So they have clearly increased the standard. That is very much evident with the way in which this particular attempt's MCQ test paper has been framed. Are you clear with this, guys? So of all the attempts in the history of ICAI, I think this is one of the best mock test papers ever, because of course they have completely changed their pattern in which they are testing the exams right now. So this is certainly a class apart. That's why I'm saying people who have this conceptual clarity are just going to enjoy writing the exams, because it is not, lengthy paper. These exam papers are not going to be that lengthy as compared to how it was before, right? It's more analytical driven, and it's more like if you have the conceptual knowledge, you are just going to go and crack it for sure. That's the kind of knowledge that Institute is testing right now. Fine. So that's about the part 1 in FM. Now coming on to the part 2, wherein you need to put your pen on a piece of paper and then solve the entire sums. That is the descriptive questions, the descriptive component. Now this descriptive component is being tested for 35 marks, which means effectively you need to attempt 35 marks worth of questions in this particular part 2. So now, guys, how it works here is, they have 4 questions. Out of this, question number 1 is compulsory, and question number 1 carries a weightage of 15 marks. Now, how is this 15 marks? In question number 1, you have part A, part B, part C, 3 standalone questions from 3 different chapters. Clear with this? And each of these 3 questions will carry 5 marks. Now, let me just show it to you here. Look at this. So part 2 is called as descriptive questions tested for a weightage of 35 marks. If you look at this, in this you have question number 1, 1A, right? It comes from a different chapter, right? So here, this is mock test paper 1. So what they have done is they have asked for the net profit. Okay, so calculate the approximate dividend payout ratio. See, this is clearly from one chapter under by using the Walters model. So dividend decisions, right? Here they have another the second part of the question. It's not a part, it's actually a standalone question. So this clearly comes from a different chapter altogether. And if you look at this, the third question in the question number 1 subcomponent, it again comes from a completely different chapter altogether. So prepare a balance sheet from all these ratios given. So ratio analysis chapter. So 3 different independent questions, right, are being tested under question number 1 from 3 different chapters. So the reason why they have framed this is because anyways FM itself is only for 50 marks, and out of this 15 marks are gone in MCQs. You have the balance 35 marks. Now they want to test as many chapters as possible, and that's the reason why in question number 1 they are keeping 3 different standalone questions, right? These are not interconnected questions, standalone questions. But the one thing that you can be for sure is each of these 3 are going to come from different chapters. Even in mock test paper 2, I saw the same pattern was observed. Each of the 3 questions in the question number 1 are coming from 3 different chapters. Clear with this, guys, right? Then question number 2 and question number 3, right? Each of these 2 questions carry a weightage of 10 marks each. Clear with this, right? So 10 plus 10, it's going to be 20 marks here. Clear with this, guys, right? So now what happens here is question number 2 and question number 3 are predominantly, they are fully numerical problem driven questions, right? Now some practical theory might come. So each of these question number 2 and 3, how will it be? Like, what is the breakup for this? Now in the MTP 1, MTP 2, Institute has released 2 MTP series. If you see question number 2 in MTP 1, how they tested was, it was 1 8-mark question plus 1 2-mark question. Practical theory was being asked. Practical theory means it's not a hardcore theory like, what is this, or like from a theory chapter, it will not be coming, right? From the conceptual knowledge, you will be able to attempt it. That is what I mean by practical theory. Whereas in MTP 2, the same question number 2 was tested as 4 plus 6 marks, no practical theory. So this 4-mark question as well as the 6-mark question were both numerical questions. Clear with this? In fact, question number 3, in mock test paper 1, it was tested as 8 plus 2. Similarly, 1 8-mark numerical problem and 1 2-mark practical theory problem. Whereas in mock test paper 2, what they did, now they retained 8 plus 2. So you can't exactly say that it will be in which model. It could be 8 plus 2 or 4 plus 6 or 5 plus 5. It could be anything. Clear with this? But question number 2 and question number 3 are predominantly numerical problem related. If at all they want to test you some theory, it could only be a practical theory. I will just open this and show you. Look at this question number 2. See what they have done. This is mock test paper 1. They had asked for all these things. Should the company replace the old mesh? And I think a very similar question we have already seen in our regular lecture. So this is basically from investmentation chapter. They had just asked all these things. Now part B, they have asked, write a short note on cutoff rate. What is cutoff rate? Basically your weighted average cost of capital, the cutoff rate, the minimum required rate of return on investment. Whatever you know, whatever we've seen in our regular class, you can just write it in your own language. That's about it. That's about it. Clear with this, guys? Fine. Whereas in mock test paper 2, you know what they have done? So they have just gone to, let's see the same question number 2. 1 second. Yes, descriptive question number 2A. Look at this. Question number 2A was for 4 marks, right? It was one full-fledged, prepare an income statement of these 2 companies. So they have just given something. And similarly, question number B, that is 2B, it was for 6 marks. There is no theory here. It's fully a numerical problem. Whereas question number 3, if you see, 3A was for 8 marks and 3B was for about 2 marks. Are you clear with this, guys? So it could be in any possible order. So the breakup for this 10 marks of question number 2, question number 3 respectively, right, could be 6 plus 4, 4 plus 6, 8 plus 2, 5 plus 5, anything. But one thing is for sure, each of these 2 questions are going to be for 10 marks. Clear with this, guys? Now, how about this question number 4? This question number 4, again, you need to write it for 10 marks. Clear with this? You need to write it for 10 marks. This question number 4 is a full theory question. It's a full pure theory question. It can come from any of the 2 theory chapters, predominantly from any of the 2 theory chapters. It can also come from any other chapter as well. predominantly, as far as I've noticed, it comes from the first two chapters, scope and objectives of financial management and types of financing, right? These two chapters which we have covered in depth. Generally it comes from here only. Now the interesting part is, right, so how does this 10 mark, that is the question number 4 theory component, could be framed? There will be one 4-mark theory, one 4-mark theory again, and then there will be one 2-mark theory with an internal choice, right? So technically speaking, question number 4 gets printed not for 10 mark, it gets printed for 12 mark, but you have an internal choice, you can attempt only 10 marks. I will just show you what it is. So this is question number 4, the theory question. So here you have, write a short note on interrelationship. So they have just asked one question, 4 mark. Then B is another 4 mark. Then if you see C, 4C, there is one 2-mark question. Explain the concept of discounted payback period. If you want, you can write this. Sir, I don't know. Not a problem. Or you can write this. Explain the concept of Indian depository receipt. There is another 2-mark here. So there is an internal choice between the 2-mark theory component in question number 4. Clear with this, guys? So if you attempt the theory component, there is one little advantage, right? If you want to call it an advantage, yes, the 2-mark component alone, you have an internal choice. Clear with this, guys? And what does the institute say, right? So they don't distinguish, they don't differentiate this question 2, 3, 4 and all. They are saying, look, in the descriptive component, question number 1, you need to write for sure. From question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, out of the 3 remaining questions, write any 2, right? So the first question is for 15 marks. Right, from out of the remaining 3 questions, write any 2 questions. So 2 into 10 mark, 30 marks. So 2 into 10 mark, 20 marks. So 20 plus 15 gives you 35 marks component of descriptive. So technically speaking, your exam paper gets printed for 15 marks plus 10 mark, 25 plus 10 mark, 35 plus 12 mark, that is 47. Clear with this, guys? So 47 plus 15, so 47 plus 15, that gives you 62 marks. So your exam paper, your financial management component alone gets printed for 62 marks, out of which you are supposed to write for 50 marks. Are you clear with this, guys? Right? And this question number 1, I'm calling it as a multidisciplinary numerical problem because there are 3 standalone questions. Each of these 3 standalone questions will definitely come from 3 different chapters, or I would say mostly come from 3 different chapters, and out of the remaining component, you can just attempt any 2. So if you want to attempt, if you're comfortable attempting theory, you can please go for it. Or if you are like, if you want to attempt numerical problems, if you're comfortable with that, you can even go for it. Clear with this, guys? And each of these 2 questions, question number 2 and question number 3, they are numerical problems with or without practical theory. Generally, they won't test you on core theory. Okay, so it could be some practical theory. So based on the question, you frame and you decide which one to write. Are you clear with this, guys? So this is all about your exam paper pattern for your upcoming May 2024 paper 6A, your financial management component. Clear with this, guys? So now again, as I told you in costing, 2 things that that I noticed which were absolutely, it blew away my mind. One thing is, the first thing is regarding testing each and every MCQ for 2 marks, right? And the second thing is about this question number 1 having a multidisciplinary numerical problem. Yes, at least here it's fine because these are standalone problems, whereas in costing it's not like that, right? In costing it's not like that. In costing, they frame a single question and out of the common data, they test part A, B, C, D and all from different chapters. So different you need to have multiple angles to the same data. At least here, these are 3 different numerical problems coming from 3 different chapters. So at least here it's fine, but in costing, it was completely different. Clear with this, guys? So they have these limitations because FM is being tested for 50 marks, costing is being tested for 100 marks. So obviously, the pattern will definitely change. Clear with this, guys? So this is the detailed threadbare analysis about your exam paper pattern, which is all set, to be printed for your, to be appearing for your upcoming May 2024 exams with respect to paper 6A financial management. Clear with this, guys, right? So on that note, I'm signing off in this video. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much. Have a great day ahead.